Atwine shares her story and how the firewood shifts in her village pushed her to think of an idea through which a woman's life would be transformed by using the eco stove.
My name is Atwine. I'm the founder and the CEO of Eco Group, a company that manufactures eco stoves. I pride in working with women, and of course this is our sector. Women, we're the ones that cook. So the eco stove is a stove that utilizes volcanic rocks and solar. And I can't find any better person to head this beautiful company than myself, and as well as a team of women that I work with, because this is something they understand and they use. And actually it's our company policy that we try to make sure every person who works here owns one, because they need to own for them to be able to appreciate what they're using. International Women's Day is really about recognizing women, and I think putting it out there is, as women, it's nice to be recognized, whether mothers, whether working women, whether young girls doing whatever. I mean, we grew up into understanding who we are and the value the government has. I mean, back in my day, I never understood about it, but now as a woman who's working, I can appreciate that being recognized as International Women's Day world over. It's nice to be recognized for who we are and what we bring to society. I'm gonna be working. Well, nicely put, with Eco Stove, we tend to serve the public. So I don't see us, probably will have something done at the factory where the women will be working, and maybe have a very beautiful lunch as we work, because if I go out or we go out and we don't work, then it beats the purpose of recognizing what we do and what we bring in. So we'll be here, we'll be working. Well, really it depends. How do you want to start? Because personally, we didn't have to have so much money saved up to be able to start something. Follow your heart, that's what I would say. It takes sacrifice, it takes commitment, it takes passion. Take away those three, it won't work, because it's not about the money. You could have a lot of money and it doesn't give you what you want, minus the other three. So to me, I would say follow your dreams, follow your passion, but plan. Money will come. You start with the little you have and grow with it, because you may have a lot and doesn't give you what you really dream about. But if you start with what you have, and I don't recommend a woman to go and break a bank to be able to do her idea. But once you grow organically, you get to learn challenges and curves and bends and hills, and that gets you to where you want to go. For example, 8 years ago, when we first registered ECO, prior to that, we had 2 years of incubation. All this was our personal savings. I mean, getting into this, we didn't have to borrow. We used what we had to test the water, see how it goes and how it grows and how people will embrace it. Although we knew what we wanted to do. I personally knew I wanted to bring this solution to the market, but I needed to be safe. So sometimes it's okay to play safe until you're very sure. Now we're happy to go and borrow money from the bank and invest, and we have a contract. You go and knock on banks and say, look, I have this contract, I need you to finance it. But before, we started baby steps and then got us where we are. So start small, baby steps, go where you want to be. That's interesting. A lady walked in my office the other day and saw we had moved from our one shop to a double office. And she's been with us, she's a client for the last 5 years. Glory is a certain school that we supplied eco stoves. And she was saying, this is discipline. I'm like, what do you mean? Financial discipline. So when you see someone grow and be able to add on what they have, it takes discipline. So I actually took it more than literal what she had brought on, because we tend to live beyond our means naturally. With EcoStove, 8 years ago, I actually started personally in one of our homes to manufacture stoves. We worked from the back of our house. We were woken up by an alarm of a grinder, because the staff would wake up and they come in. You don't hear them coming to the gate, but you hear them when it's 7 o'clock, they start. So that would be your alarm, and you're like, okay, it's time to wake up and go to work. So we started that, trying to manage what we had rent-free. Then when money started coming in, then you rented the neighbor. After that, you entered a workshop. After that, we started buying land and then building this factory. So really, I say, discipline is very important. You live within your means, you operate within your means. I wouldn't borrow to pay workers. I would push them to work so that we can pay our own wages from our own earnings. But I also would, it takes discipline, really and truly. And again, you don't want to lose your business when you've started because of debt or living beyond your means. So we try to live within, but it's okay to dream. Again, I'm not saying don't borrow, but if you have a dream, go for it, and but just manage your debt the way you know you're gonna, because I don't want someone to sleep awake worrying about a debt. Yes. How do I balance family and work? That's every woman's challenge. One gives, to be honest. You're at work 12 hours, and you're at home probably 6, because 6 you're going to be asleep. So you're literally functioning only 6 hours until. But I try to balance it out, because I have a network of people I work with. I have a good team. I have systems in place at work that I work with. I literally work from home until 10 o'clock. So I'm being a wife while I'm still home. I am making sure breakfast is served and it's good breakfast on the dining and it's all done. I make sure the house is clean, because we're in the .com. You don't have to be physically in the office to be able to operate. And this is the beauty of being self-employed, that I can actually work from home and I deliver 100% of what I would have done being physically there. It's all about delegation, it's all about teamwork, it's all about working with a system that actually functions. Then when it comes to my kids and my husband, I'm a mother and I'm a wife, and I do that the best way I know how. As a girl growing up, I used firewood. Used to look for firewood to cook. My dad gave us shifts. My dad has been a hands-on dad. Bless him, he passed on. But he's been a hands-on dad where we were more, girls and their dads. It's one of those different things. So I remember him making us work in shifts where you needed to look for firewood to cook a meal. Nobody else finds firewood for your shift, so you look for your firewood for your shift. So we had shifts in my home where you had a shift to cook for your siblings, and so that shift. So growing up looking for firewood, and when I got exposed and traveled and managed to get more knowledge, more education, more exposure, it made me want to bring it home to actually bring a solution to the challenge I personally was part of. It's not hearsay. I was never told about a woman suffering in Africa looking for firewood, walking miles to look for firewood. I was part of that challenge. I was part of that problem where you're like, oh gosh, I wish I would live in a place where I can use power to cook and I don't have to look for fire. Where we actually, in my village, we longed to cook on charcoal because we used firewood. There was no charcoal stove. We used 3 stone to cook. And so there's energy loss and everything else. I got to learn that much later. So that motivated me when I found a solution through my travels, my study, that I wanted to bring to solve a problem that I knew and I had been part of. And so that motivates me every day to say one house at a time, one house at a time. If I can give a stove one client at a time, it will get me where I need to be. EcoStove Innovation is a stove that uses volcanic rocks and solar to cook. Now, nobody has ever heard of that or had ever heard of that prior to the EcoStove being in Uganda. And really and truly, having innovated this, it was a fireplace concept that I zoomed out, enlarged, and wanted to make. So the research from 2008 and 9 and 10 is what you see today. That we researched, we prototyped until we came on a functioning product, which I'll take you through, and you'll be able to see our aliens, that this is where we started. 10 years on, this is where we are. This looks new, but we just resprayed it. But it's my 2008 stove, is what we started with. All we wanted was the functionality. And soon as we got the functionality, we were happy. Then now we started working. So of course, we thought, let's try and make it bigger and stable. It didn't look good, we dumped that. Then we came here, we wanted to, then we keep changing. So 2009, 2019. So this has been where we've been evolving, trying to see what, and also working with the feedback from the client. These have different reasons why we changed from that. But all in all, this is what EcoStove is all about. We are proud of our history. But telling a woman today is that follow your dreams. If you work on your passion, you won't feel like it's a job. I have never felt that EcoStove or producing EcoStove is a job. I don't like to switch my phone off because I want to know, I want an emergency. We have 5 departments. Guys are in Kasese, guys are in Jinja, building EcoStoves. I have people in the field doing electrical, solar installations. I want to be the core. I don't switch off my phone. And I don't feel like it's a burden. I just feel like I want them to know I'm supporting them. Even if they are there and I'm in my bed, I want to know if anything happens, please get in touch. I have an open door policy. Reach me anytime you need to reach me. So it's something that I attribute to following your passion. It's something that I do with my heart more than I probably do it with my brain. So it's not about the outlook, it's what's inside my heart. That it's a solution, I think. It's me who has to do it. It takes me to know the problem, to be able to tell this woman who's using firewood, I'm like, but there's a solution here we can do, because we both know this smoke is not good for you. These hours you're wasting, you could be using them to generate other income sources instead of, wasting time looking for firewood. So it's something that I would want to tell any woman somewhere using charcoal stove or using firewood, that look, there is a stove that can liberate you as a woman to be able to use your time more productively instead of spending hours looking for firewood, instead of dying of indoor air pollution or smoke inhalation. I mean, you hear stories of people having cancer or having lung or breathing or asthma issues. This is all because of what we are breathing in. Not just because of the fumes in the air from factories, but our kitchen. I was in India, and there was we were presenting EcoStove. It was everything to do with climate change. And I remember all these presenters from all over the world were talking about solar. Every home in Africa should have a solar bulb for clean energy. Clean energy means solar. I said, hello. Clean energy is much more than solar lamp, because a lamp is just one. But that kitchen, that kitchen that home that doesn't have a clean light does not have a clean cook stove. And the smoke that comes out of the kitchen is much more than the smoke that comes out of a kerosene lamp. So how about we look at having a complete solution? This is how EcoStove was born, that it provides a complete or holistic solution where it lights a home, charges phone, cooks a meal in a clean way. So given to me, I'll tell every woman, do what you can. Let's go in circles. Let's try and obtain EcoStoves and save your lungs. Simple as that.
She's a hardworking woman who has employed women in her factory and encouraged them to work hard to achieve their goals.
Manya gange nze Kasemire Peace. Ndi mukozi mu EcoStove, nkola as a welder. Bwe mba ngenda natandika okukola, nsooka ne nkwata masiki. Eno masiki enyambako nga bwe mba heat okunkuba mu face muno, okunyonona face, ngiteekako bwoti nenjambala. Then after nendabaga goozi zange neziteeka wano eno ku maaso. Nenkwata torch nenjiteekako bulungi. Bwe mba njagala kwokya stove, ndina okusooka nenteekako eno masiki bweti okunyamba okola heating eno then nenjokya.
gange yenze Anet Namugerwa nkola wano ku Eco-Stove ndi electrical engineer at the same as welder. Kati olunaku lw'abakyala luno abantu tugenda celebratinga ewaffe wano gye tubeera oluusi tubeerawo ab'emikwano ne tugendako awo tulinako labs tugenda awo ne tubeera nga ne tulya tubeerawo nga ne tunywa ne lugwa bwe lutyo lwakuba olunaku lw'abakyala balina okubeera n'eddembe ne beeyagala.
Amanya gange nze Nakayiza Rose nga nkola okustandinga obusigiri buno okuzibikira ebituli nga nteekawo fira n'okulaba wa watatuuse ntuusewo bulungi kagenda otuuka wali nga kali ku mutindo mulungi. Olunaku lw'abakyala lutegeera nga nze omukyala nti kiwe abakyala bonna abali ebweru ti omuntu yenna alina okukola baleke kubeera banafu kulowooza nti no balinda abasajja babakolere. Tulina okuteekamu amaanyi bamanyi nti no fe abakyala twagala nnyo naddala abawala abato twagala nnyo sente abasajja zibatuweeza obwereere si kituufu. Kati nkubiriza abakyala bannange abali eyo balina okuteekamu amaanyi bakole. Omusajja ne baba takwadde sente ya mwana olina okuba mugumu osobola okukola n'oweerera omwana wo paka w'oba w'omutuusiza. Ya advice yempa abakyala bannange.
This is a single burner and you're able to regulate the heat, you increase or you reduce. So really the control is in this is me making a woman, liberating a woman instead of now I've tried to make it easier by saying, look, by touch of a switch, even if you're in Karamoja or Kanungu, you're able to control the heat to the temperature you want at your own pace. So you're able to fast boil or slow cook using this Eco-Stove innovation. So this is what it is.